Konnichiwa minasan. Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel and I am your friend Sujoy Chatterjee. Today is the 49th lesson of this series and today's topic is time. Nanji desu ka? That means what time is it? Friends, we have learned about counters previously. So counters are basically words to count various kinds of things. In Japanese also there are hundreds of counters. In this course so far we have learned three counters. These are sai for age, kai for floor, and en for currency. That is the Japanese currency yen. In today's lesson we shall learn about the counter for time, which is ji. G represents the 12 hours. That is when we represent the 12 hours as G. So this is a chart to compare the various counters we have learned so far along with the counter for time which we shall be learning today. These are the numerals ichi, ni, san, yong or shi, go, roku, nana or shichi, hachi, kyu, Ju, Juichi, Juni, Jusan. For 20 it is Niju and 100 is Hyaku. When it comes to counter age, that is Sai, we have Issai, Nisai, Sansai, Yongsai, Gosai, Rokusai, Nanasai, Hassai, Kyusai, Jusai, Juisai, Junisai, Jusansai, Hatachi, and Hyakusai. So this we have learned earlier and the purple color represents exceptions which you all know. For 7 we don't express 7 years of age as Shichisai, it's only Nanasai. And rest of the ones you already know as we have discussed this in a previous lesson. Similarly for floor we have Ikkai, Nikai, Sangai, Yonkai, Gokai, Rokkai, Nanakai or Shichikai, Hakkai, Kyukai, Jukkai, Juikkai, Junikai, Jusangai, Nijukkai, Hyakkai. Again, the purple ones represents exceptions. For currency, there are no exceptions. We have Ichien, Nien, Sanen, Yonen, and so on. Today's topic is time. So as we just mentioned that it's G. So we have Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, Yoji. So mind it here, it's not Yonji, it's Yoji. That is 4 o'clock. Goji 5 o'clock, Rokuji 6 o'clock, Shichiji. There is no Nanaji. It is Shichiji for 7 o'clock. We have Hachiji for 8 o'clock. Kuji. Again, this is an exception for 9 o'clock. It is not Kyuji, but it is Kuji. Then we have Juji for 10 o'clock, Ju Ichiji for 11 o'clock, and Ju Niji for 12 o'clock. Since there are 12 hours in the clock, we have 12 of them as the counter for time. So this chart we shall be updating in future also when we look at some more counters so that the exceptions and the way these are formed is clear to you. So let's move on to time now, which is the topic for today's lesson. In Japanese, the counter for time is G. It means o'clock in English. The kanji is like this. So we shall be learning more about this kanji character in a subsequent lesson when we continue with our kanji series. But for the time being, I can tell you that this kanji is composed of two kanji characters. First one is the kanji for day or the sun, which is Nichi. And the second part is the kanji for temple. And why these two are combined to form the kanji for Ji? Because in the temple, in the morning when the sun rises, the temple bell rings to depict the hour or the time. So because of that, this composite character has been accepted as representing the counter for time. So we will discuss it in more detail when we do our lesson in kanji. For the time being, just remember that this symbol represents time and it is pronounced as G. So now let's look at the clock. 1 o'clock Ichiji, 2 o'clock Niji, 3 o'clock Sanji, 4 o'clock Yoji, 5 o'clock Goji, 6 o'clock Rokuji, 7 o'clock Shichiji, 8 o'clock Hachiji, 9 o'clock Kuji, 10 o'clock Juji, 11 o'clock Juichiji, and 12 o'clock Juniji. Next is how to ask the time. What time is it or what is the time now? Nanji desu ka? So as you have already learned about nan, which means what. So nanji desu ka? We have learned about nankai desu ka? That is which floor is it? Similarly, nanji desu ka? Nanji desu ka means what time is it? Nanji desu ka? And here you can see the kanjis. Nan, this is the kanji for nan or nani, and this is the kanji for ji, which we have just seen. So nanji desu ka means what time is it? Or we can say ima nanji desu ka? Now ima means now or the current time. That means what's the time now? What time is it now? So if we want to add now, we can add ima in front of the nanji deska. So this is not mandatory because if someone asks time, it is implied that he is asking about the current time only. So ima may or may not be used. If it is used, ima nanji deska, what time is it now? It's n o'clock. N represents any value from 1 to 12. So if we want to give this answer in Japanese, it will be ima ichiji desu. That is, it's 1 o'clock. Ima yoji desu. It's 4 o'clock. Ima shichiji desu. It's 7 o'clock. Ima kuji desu. It's 9 o'clock. Next is AM and PM. So till now we have been mentioning about the time in hour, but whether it is morning or it is the afternoon time, it was not clear. So for that, we need to take support of AM and PM as we do it in English. So what are the corresponding words in Japanese for AM and PM? Gozen is the word for AM and gogo is the word for PM. That is, gozen will be used to represent time between midnight and 11:59 in the morning, and gogo will be used to represent time from 12 in the afternoon, that is from noon to midnight 23:59. So now the sentence will become ima gozen rokuji desu. That means it's 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. now. Ima gozen rokuji desu. So see the sequence of these words. Gozen is before rokuji. So in English, AM is after the time, but in Japanese, gozen is before the time. Ima gozen rokuji desu. That means it is 6 a.m. So first gozen, then the value of the hour, and then the counter G. Ima gozen rokuji desu. Similarly, ima gogo sanji desu. It's 3 p.m. Ima gogo sanji desu. 3 p.m. In Japanese, the counter for time is G. Now that was a complete hour. For half hour mark, that is half past nth hour, that is 30 minutes past the hour. How do we represent that? It's represented by han, which means half. So han is not only used to represent half hour, but half in general. It can be anything half. So han basically means half. The kanji is this. Again, we shall learn about this kanji in a subsequent lesson. But as you can see here, it's very clear that it is dividing these two into two halves. So into two parts, sorry, it divides this whole thing into two parts. So that's why this symbol represents half. So now again, same question, ima nanji desu ka? What time is it now? If the answer is it's half past n o'clock, then in Japanese it will be ima niji han desu. That is, it's 2:30. Niji han. As you can see, han will be after ji. It will not be like nihanji. 2:30 is not nihanji, but it's niji han. So ji will always be attached to the hour. And after that, this han, that is half, will be added after g. So this is a very, very important point to be noted, that ni han ji will be wrong, san han ji will be wrong. It is niji han or sanji han. So always remember that g is associated with the hour, and anything else will be after g. Ima niji han des. It's 2:30. Ima gozen goji han desu. It's 5:30 a.m. Gozen is a.m. Goji is 5 o'clock, and han is 30 minutes past 5. So that's why gozen goji han desu. It's 5:30 a.m. Ima gogo shichiji han desu. It's 7:30 p.m. Ima ju niji han desu. It's 12:30. So here gogo or goji, gozen or gogo is not specified, so that's why we have written it's 12:30. So it's just 12:30. We don't know whether it's midnight or in the afternoon. June iji handes, it's 12:30. Next is, what time is it in place? That means if we want to ask what is the current time in a certain location, in a certain country or a certain place, how do we ask that? So the structure of the question will be, place wa nanji desu ka? Very easy. Place wa nanji desu ka? For example, Tokyo wa ima nanji desu ka? So ima is again optional. We can also ask Tokyo wa nanji desu ka? Tokyo wa ima nanji desu ka? Deri wa ima nanji desu ka? Deri is nothing but Delhi. So Deri wa ima nanji desu ka? So what does that mean? Tokyo wa ima nanji desu ka? What time is it now in Tokyo, or what time is it now in Delhi? So the answer will be in the form, in the structure, it's time in place. So Tokyo wa ima gozen 4時半 desu. Tokyo wa ima gozen 4時半 desu. It's 4:30 a.m. in Tokyo. Delhi wa ima gogo 9時 desu. It's 9 p.m. in Delhi. So just you have to add the name of the place followed by wa, and the rest of the thing remains the same. Tokyo wa ima gozen 4時半 desu. It's 4:30 a.m. in Tokyo. Deri wa ima gogo 9時 desu. It's 9 p.m. in Delhi. London wa 6時半 desu. It's 6:30 in London. Again, there is no mention of gozen or gogo here, so it's not clear. London wa 6時半 desu. It's 6:30 in London. 6時半 is 6:30. New York wa ima gogo 5時 desu. New York wa ima gogo 5時 desu. It's 5 p.m. in New York. Gogo goji means 5 p.m. Next, and a very important one, is from what time to what time. Nanji kara nanji made desu ka? So before we move on, let's look at this very familiar table which we looked at in the last lesson as well. So these are the particles in Japanese. So as you can see here, from is kara, to or until is made. So when we talk about some starting time and ending time, that is from so and so time till so and so time. So there we have to use kara and made. The combination of kara and made means from to. So let's now, nanji kara nanji made desu ka? It means from what time until what time. So the answer will be, it's from time 1 to time 2. So in Japanese, it will be rokuji kara kuji han made desu. It's from 6 to 9:30. Very, very important and very, very easy as well. Rokuji kara kuji han made desu. So rokuji is 6, kara is from, that is from 6. Kuji han is 9:30. Kujihan is 9:30, Made is 2. That means 6 o'clock to 9:30. It's from 6 to 9:30. Rokuji kara Kujihan made desu. Nanji kara desu ka? From what time? Nanji made desu ka? Until what time? Nanji kara nanji made desu ka? From what time to what time? So this means all these three are valid. So we may ask only from what time, we may ask only until what time, or we may ask both the starting and the ending time. That is from what time to what time. So for these three cases, we will have these three combinations of Kara, Made, and Nanji. So now let's look at a conversation. Sumimasen, eiga wa nanji kara desu ka? So sumimasen is excuse me, and eiga means a movie, that is film. So sumimasen, eiga wa nanji kara desu ka? What does that mean? Excuse me, what time is the movie from? Or what is the starting time of the movie? Rokuji kara desu. It's from 6. So note that here AM PM is not mentioned because here PM is implied as movie won't be shown, or the cinema hall will not be open at 6 a.m. in the morning. No one will be going at 6 a.m. to watch a movie. So it is implied that it's 6 p.m. That's why it's not specifically mentioned. That is Gogo Rokuji Kara desu. So it's just Rokuji Kara desu. So Sumimasen eiga wa nanji kara desu ka? Rokuji Kara desu. Nanji made desu ka? So the question has been split into two. That means instead of asking eiga wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka, the person is asking separately eiga wa nanji kara desu ka, and then again nanji made desu ka, that is until what time? Kujihan made desu. That means it is until 9:30. So the movie is from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Now let us form questions using nanji kara nanji made and for various places. Depato, that is departmental store. So depato wa, you can add this common part with each of these words that we are going to provide for practice purpose. Depato wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? That means from what time to what time is the departmental store? So the departmental store is open from what time to what time? So suppose it is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So the answer will be depato wa shichiji gozen shichiji kara gogo shichiji made desu. That will be the answer. Ginko. Ginko is bank. Ginko wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? Ginko wa gozen kuji kara gogo goji made desu. That is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Likewise, gakko. So now if we ask gakko wa nanji kara desu ka? Gakko wa 8時半 kara desu. That is the school starts at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. So here again, we didn't mention gozen because it is implied that the school will be in the morning time only. So gakko wa 8時 kara desu. The school starts at 8 a.m. or 8時半 kara desu, that is 8:30 a.m. Nihongo kurasu, that means Japanese class. Nihongo kurasu wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? So if the Japanese class is from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., then we will say Nihongo kurasu wa gogo 3時から5時までです. Super. Super means supermarket. Supermarket wa super wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? Super wa if it is from 8 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night, then it will be super wa gozen 8時から午後10時までです. Kogi. Kogi means lecture or a lecture by a professor. So kogi wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? If the lecture is from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., then it will be, the answer will be kogi wa 11 kara 10 made 12 12時までです。講義は11時から12時までです。Honda san no kurasu. That means Mr. Honda san's class. So Professor Honda, he is a teacher. So Honda san no kurasu wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? Similarly, kaisha wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? So kaisha means the office or the company. So at from what time to what time is the office? Kaisha wa, if it is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., then it will be kaisha wa gozen kuji kara gogo 6時までです。Matsumoto no sensei no kogi. Matsumoto, Professor Matsumoto's class is from what time to what time? So that is again similar question as we saw for Honda-san no Kurasu. Piano lesson, that is piano lesson. Piano lesson wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? Piano lesson wa 6時から8時までです。郵便局、ポストオフィス。郵便局は何時から何時までですか？郵便局は午後7時半までです。That means the post office is until 6:30 p.m. So this question is only for the final time. That is, 郵便局は何時までですか？郵便局は7時半までです。病院 or hospital。病院は何時からですか？病院は午前10時からです。from 10 a.m. Similarly, Toshokan is library. 何時から何時までですか？ Piano recital, that is piano recital. When is the concert basically? So, concerto wa or piano recital wa gozen, gozen or gogo. If it is in the evening, then gogo. Shichiji han kara des. It's from 7:30 p.m. in the evening. Juku. Juku is the coaching class. So, Juku means coaching class or a uh, coaching session. So, Juku wa nanji kara nanji made desu ka? Juku wa gogo 3時から5時までです。So friends, that's all for today's lesson. We learned about asking time in Japanese and how to tell time. And we talked about hour and the half past hour. So in terms of minutes and seconds, we shall be doing in a future lesson. So for today, that's all. And keep learning. We shall be back with lesson 50 soon. Till then, keep learning. Thank you so much. Mata imasho.